Yo guys, what is up? This video is going to be a client showcase or highlight. So one of our students, John, ended up passing a My Forex Funds challenge. It's the 200K account, and we're bringing him on just so he can tell you guys a little bit about his journey, about the trades he took to pass, and kind of what he plans on doing with it. So this isn't going to be too long, but we just want to introduce you guys to him and kind of show you what you can expect within the community and have him, highlight his journey, because we want to share how other people have, come along as traders. So I'm going to hand it over to him and he's going to tell you guys a little bit about it and we'll go from there. So John, if you want to go, you can go ahead and start.
All right. Thanks, Jimmy. What's going on? My name is John Smith. So yeah, like you said, I just recently passed the My Forex Funds Challenge. Probably the biggest accomplishment I've had in my 4 years of trading journey. So as far as my trading journey goes, I mean, I started back when I was sophomore in college. So one day I came home from school and a bunch of my roommates were like, hey, you got to buy this stock, buy this stock, buy this stock. And, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm getting into it. So I bought my first stock and I ended up losing a lot of money, like a lot of traders do. And the, first 2 years, 3 years of trading. So I kind of backed up and kind of found Forex, got out of stock trading. That wasn't for me. And tried all different courses, all different strategies. I tried, algorithms. I've tried manual trading, everything under the sun. I mean, you've named it. I've probably tried it. And then I ran into Arielfx, and I started, at the point when I ran into Arielfx, it was probably like my third year of trying to trade. And I had not made any. I had not made any money up to that point. So I found Arielfx and I was like, all right, well, I don't really want to put a lot of time into this, so I'll just take their signals. So I started taking some signals, and what I was realizing was that the entries were insane. I mean, like, you'd look up on a 4-hour chart and you're in a wick entry and, prices skyrocketed 30 pips in the other direction. And you're just like, wow, okay, the strategy works. So that's when I decided to actually dive in, start learning, start to get serious about it. And I was fortunate enough to run into Jimmy, and Jimmy kind of showed me his strategy and how he looks at the markets. And it really helped me simplify what I was looking at. That's kind of the biggest nuance to what I think is the problem with a lot of people, is that they think about too much stuff and they can't simplify it down to a simple set of rules. And Jimmy is really good about defining a simple set of rules to follow, that if you follow them, you will be profitable in the long run. You will lose trades, but you will be profitable in the long run. And that's actually what I'm just about to show you guys. So Jimmy, I'm gonna share my screen if I can. It says I can't.
Okay, try it now. And then if you can't, I'll make you host. Okay, there you go.
You got see my mouse moving?
Yep.
I got two different screens. So yeah, so this is the account that I passed with my Forex funds. And as you'll see down here, I mean, where we started, I took one trade like the very first day that I got it, and I was not liking the trade, and I got out at break even. So, and I didn't trade for a good, I think, 9 days. So one thing that, I've learned is that not trading is trading. So as long as you're on the charts and you're looking at everything, that's awesome. So here, I mean, ran into some drawdown. But like I said, if you follow Jimmy's strategy, you will go into profit. Here again, ran into drawdown. And realistically, I had one good trade that that made me pass this account, which is really all you need if you use proper risk management. So I don't know if it shows my overall drawdown, but I can go down. Yeah, so my overall lowest point, I was at $193,000, which is roughly 3.5%, give or take, in drawdown, and ended up passing with 8% profit, as you can see up here, $216,000. So the one trade this trade right here, which is what I'm about to show, highlight. Let's see if I can, this won't lag out on there. I believe it was off the 1 minute chart. So we had higher highs and higher lows forming. I'll just mark this up really quick. And if we play price out, stop. Wait. Okay, so here's what I was looking at. Was once price broke right here, this breakup structure, I identified this last buy move right here. Also lined up with the 78 fib. And the other thing that we had too is if we zoom out, we were still in a downtrend. We still had imbalance up here that we could have filled, but since I saw this break of structure and we were still in a downtrend, this looked like a good trade to me. So I placed a trade right here, right as soon as price broke, and I saw that 78 lined up with the last buying pressure of this up move. Placed my order, and if we play price out, we almost got stopped out, but it goes ahead and makes that lower low.
Yeah, I remember after the entry, it chopped around for like half a day, and then it ended up expanding to the downside again.
Yeah, so after the daily close, I moved my stop loss just to above where these lower highs were being formed. So because I didn't want to lose on this trade, and I didn't want to break even. So that's that was my thought process behind that. But if we go ahead and play it out on the hourly, you can see we absolutely smashed. And I was only taking profit where I needed to pass my account. So I was only taking profit here. If I was actually wanting to hold this trade, I would have held it for another lower low, which probably would have been somewhere down here at a 1 to 19 or a 1 to 20. So yeah, that's basically how I passed. Again, here's the account. I couldn't have done it without Jimmy, his supply and demand course, and Arielfx as a whole. The group is great. The guys are great. If you really want to learn the true skill of trading and what it actually entails, and not just, Wall Street bets, gambling style, or dropping 30 lots on news, doing stuff like that. That's gambling to me. So if you want to actually learn the skill of trading, Arielfx is, the place to go. They very affordable courses. So yeah, Jimmy, thanks again. Thanks for having this. Thanks for bringing me on, and I look forward to everything we do in the future.
Yeah, no problem. And like John said, this isn't a Wall Street or Wall Street bets type of community. We actually look for legitimate trades and we manage our risk. And this trade was actually one that we were looking at within our supply and demand course. We all kind of, or a couple of the very active members and myself included, noticed what EU was doing, and we spotted that trade, and it did end up making that lower low, and it would have been a 1-19 if you had held it. Personally, I don't hold for longer than a day, and I knew that that expansionary leg to the downside would have, was going to take longer than a day. So I closed out at an 8% gain. But as you guys can see, it's just following structure, and that's to be honest, that's what trading actually is when they say the trend is your friend. That's like the beginner or intermediate rule to follow. The trend is your friend, blah blah blah, and it just sounds cliche and just kind of like BS. But when you actually understand the dynamics of the markets and how trading really works, it's very true that you should follow the structure, you should follow the supply and demand, and you should follow the order flow, which is exactly what we teach. That's how the markets truly work. Smart money concepts do still work. Inefficiencies, sponsor candles, which those are terms that we use in our course. If you guys want to learn more about that, you can head over to our website. But they do work. However, it's not, or they're not as prominent as they once were. So you used to be able to, and I'm sure John knows, if you go back and look at some of our old videos and old posts, you used to be able to place orders at random buy to sell and sell to buy candles, and you could walk away knowing that you were probably going to make money. They worked that well. But now that's not really the case. The price doesn't operate in that manner anymore. And that's kind of what we try to get people to see, is that the actual dynamics of the markets, which we call supply and demand. People like ICT attest that there isn't such a thing as supply and demand, but he calls it something else. It's the same concept. So I could very well say that his concepts aren't true, or they don't actually exist. People would give me backlash because ICT is well known, but it's about how you characterize things. Just like Wyckoff is a different way of trading supply and demand. There are a lot of successful people who trade Wyckoff, right? So it's about getting a perspective that makes sense to you. And for me personally, and for a lot of our members, supply and demand makes a lot of sense. And that's how I've been teaching most of our students, like John. I've been teaching supply and demand, and it works because the dynamics of the markets, it really does center around where there are buyers and where there are sellers, and that is what supply and demand is. And once you understand that and can tie in structure, and then use your smart money concepts, because they do have validity in the markets. Once you can combine all those things into a meaningful strategy, that's when you really start to notice that you can figure out what the markets are going to do. You can predict price, and that it's not just some magical, formula or some magic potion that people just have and can use. So anyway, that's a little bit of a ramble, but I just wanted to say that because I wanted to note that John has kind of gotten that down. He's figured out how to combine it in a way similar that I've, done. It's different for everybody, but when you get the basic ideas down, they're very applicable, and the same patterns repeat themselves every single day. And that he used that idea to pass his challenge. And with the trade, you can see, if you look at the charts and go back, you can see that pattern that he caught. You can find it almost every day. If you go back and look, you can find an example of it on EU specifically, because I only trade EU. You can find that pattern every day, not at the same time, doesn't necessarily look exactly alike, or it doesn't even have to look similar, but it's the concepts that make something recognizable. That's why it's important to get the concepts, not just the pictures. That's why retail doesn't work. So John has been with us for a while now, and he's picked up on it, and I'm very happy for him. He followed his plan. He was in, you guys can see on the screen, he was in drawdown, which is fine. Drawdown's not a problem because all it takes is one good trade to make up for weeks of losing. That happened to me. I was losing for a week and a half straight, and it was one good trade. And that's kind of the same thing that happened to him. You can see once he passed the $205,000 mark, he started declining a little bit, right? He declined for about the same time as me. And then there was one trade that just took all the losses, negated them, and then ended up passing his challenge. So yeah, again, just wanted to say that because this is what you will learn in the community. This is how we teach, and this is kind of, what we do. We really want to show you guys how things actually work. And John is a really good example of someone who picked up on it and is using it to his advantage because he now has passed the My Forex Funds Challenge. So again, very happy for him, and we're happy to help you. Like he said, reach out anytime and we'll be there to assist you guys. So I guess before we wrap it up, what do you plan? I know you plan on trading the account, but what are you going to be looking for per month in terms of return, and how are you going to keep growing as a trader? Like, what do you think? What other things do you think you could learn?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. So you're right. I do plan on trading this account manually. I actually plan on using it as my full-time income, so to speak. I plan on expanding on my trading. I like I kind of hinted on earlier, I've tried algorithm trading before, EAs, stuff like that. And I'm trying to figure out a way where I can have an EA that will turn out a certain amount percentage and keep me in a consistent drawdown. So I'm gonna open up an account and use that with extra funds that I make. As far as doing another account, I don't know. I really just got to see where it takes me. I got to see where this first account takes me. I'm really excited for it. I still have to do the verification. That shouldn't be an issue. I'm not worried. But yeah, I plan on growing, especially with Arielfx. I want to do everything I can to give back to you guys and help grow the community as much as I can, because I mean this is something that can change a lot of people's lives, as you're well aware. I mean, it's a pretty great thing.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's really all about just the big thing is being consistent with it, like with your account, trading it the same way you've been trading it, because I know in my journey and a lot of other people, you can pass a challenge and you get the funding and then you're like, oh, this is for real. And that's when it gets a little trickier, because then you start thinking, well, now I'm actually trading real money that will give me profit. And so now it's serious. Passing the challenge is serious too, but you have in the back of your mind that it's demo and it's practice. But so just being consistent is going to be really important. But I mean, if you can pass a challenge, all you have to do is keep doing the same things, because passing a challenge says that you're disciplined, says that you follow your rules, and all you need to do is just continue doing that. So we wish, the whole team, we wish you the best of luck with everything. But I mean, at this point, it's not about luck. It's about being consistent. That's something I kind of talk about in our community and our courses. It's the consistency and dedication that'll take you further than anything else. You can be motivated, but motivation doesn't really do much whenever you're getting your ass kicked around, right? So you just have to stick to it, because when you get your ass kicked, motivation goes down. But discipline is something that's almost completely independent of external circumstances. So just keep at it. We're really happy for you, and we hope we have a few more students that get funding. We've had a couple in the past. We haven't made videos, but we figured that it's good to highlight, you know, you guys' accomplishments. And we actually do have another student who passed. We're going to have him on as well. His name is also John, but we're going to have him on. And you guys are obviously both active members, and there's a direct relationship between activity within the groups and the markets and how well you do. The more serious you take trading, the more serious your results are. And that's kind of something that goes for everybody. And anybody watching this video, that's one thing I tell people, and I'm sure John can vouch for that. I say that in the groups. The more serious you are about it, the more serious your results are. So yeah. Other than that, there's really nothing else I want to address. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you want, you know, congratulate John in the comments. We do look, so we can relay the message to him and he can go and look too. So congratulate him. This is really, really awesome, and we're really happy for him. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you liked the video, share it, like it, subscribe, and also go check out some of our other videos, because I do kind of lay out how I trade. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll speak to you all in the next video. Bye, guys.